is the moment. It's made its way, like breaking a 635-day losing streak. Woo, we are finally here. It's game day. From rhyme to rhythm, from words to music and everything in between. We exist to develop youth who influence culture. Not for us and not for glory and not for a short-term status, but for the one. And he who owns the youth will own the future. And can I say, the future looks brighter than ever. Shades, we believe in the youth. Let me tell you something. Never doubt them. Never count them out. This is the moment right here. This is an experience for the next generation, for the now generation, right here, right now. Guys, girls, it's Sunday night, and this is Rhythm Night Live. Rhythm Night.
Welcome to Rhythm Night.
Woo, what is up? And we are live on the YouTube.
Yes, we are. Man,
are you feeling good?
Do you feel good? Did you just run down here from the roof?
I went real quick, real fast.
Yes.
Let me tell you something. We are so glad that you're here. My name is Tim Summers.
Yes, and I'm Rebecca Summers.
This is my beautiful wife. Ain't she beautiful?
Stop.
You know what? Why don't you tell everyone a little bit about yourself?
Oh, well, like you said, I'm married to Tim Summers. I'm on staff here at Elevation Church. I get to oversee our online campus side of things, so our online e-groups. I know some of you eFam youth, maybe your parents are involved with e-groups, maybe your parents are involved with e-teams, but that's what I get to do here on staff.
Okay, but what kind of things do you like? Like, all right, this is a tailgate theme,
yes.
All right? Do a little tailgate theme. That's a lot of, football. Maybe what's your favorite football team?
College. I'm Oklahoma State University graduate, so go Pokes. I love the football games. I would say I definitely love like the food. Like the game day food is my favorite. I got some if you can't tell, I got some nachos, I got some popcorn.
There is too many food. There's too much food here. There's no doubt. We got all kinds of stuff.
Never too much food.
All kinds of stuff. And right now, we are in the middle of our Valentine lobby here in Charlotte, North Carolina. Let us know where you are from, eFam. We want to know if you're in the States, out of the States.
Right, so right in the chat window, we have some people, some chat hosts that are in there, and they want to know just like, hey, where are you from? So let us know where you're tuning in from.
Yes, that's right. And if you can see behind us a little bit, we got so many things going on.
Right.
They're eating Bojangles,
yes.
which I just said that really weird, but it's a chicken place that people love.
Yes.
We got Krispy Kreme donuts.
Right. I mean, we have like trucks backed up, like a tailgate.
Like a tailgate.
An entire truck bed full of Bojangle boxes.
There's
or Krispy
games
Kreme
happening
boxes.
right now. They're throwing footballs, all kinds of stuff. Look, right here. Bam! Gotcha. Don't even worry about it. Whammy.
Almost hit my face. That's
fine.
That
was close. That would have been bad. That would have been so bad. But hey, tonight is going to be a lot of fun.
It is. It's already been so much fun.
It has been.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of things coming up. Maybe this is your first time at a Rhythm Night. We want to welcome you. We consider you a VIP.
Yes. Some of our chat hosts are probably putting in the window right now a link. We want to hear from you. We just want to know a little bit about you and who you are. So let us know if it's your first time.
That's right. And this is what's going to kind of be happening tonight. We're going to have some fun.
Yes.
We're going to play some games. This is an experience really just for teenagers.
Yeah,
all right?
it really is.
For you. Somehow
if you can't
they let
tell,
us
it's very loud.
It's very loud, but we're young, so we are okay with it.
We're so young.
Yes.
We are.
But here's the deal. This is what's going to be happening. We're going to be playing some games, some games that we've kind of come up with.
Right.
And then we're going to be hearing a conversation between Pastor Micahn Carter from Together Church, Yakima, Washington. Maybe you know a little bit about him. But it's going to be between him and his son Meeks. Do you know why we're doing that?
Do I know why? I have a feeling because we're in this We're talking about relationships.
Yes.
Maybe they're going to be talking about that.
That's right. We're talking about dating. We're talking about purity. We're talking about relationships. And we're even talking about sex.
Okay. All right.
That's right.
Right.
I mean, here's the deal.
Yes.
There are so many people asking about it.
That's true.
How
That
far
very
is
true.
too far? What's first base, second base? Like, if you think your kids are not asking that,
Right.
oh my gosh.
They're asking somebody.
They are asking somebody, and
Yeah.
too long and too many times, the church has been afraid about talking
Right.
about awkward things
Yeah.
or whatever, right? We've made it awkward.
Right.
We're not going to make this awkward.
No.
But it's not just tonight.
Totally normal. Yes. Right.
This is going to be throughout the entire month, the next 4 weeks. We're
Okay.
going to be diving in because this is not something that you can just talk about for 30 minutes and be done.
Okay.
Right,
So
there's-
you say the next 4 weeks. I know we're not going to be tuning in or going live
Yep.
the next 4 weeks. How can they be a part for the next 4 weeks?
So we drop episodes on Sunday at 3 p.m. every
Okay.
Sunday that really kind of help conversations and really help the idea of provoking the conversation within your e-group.
Right. Okay.
So all of these youth right now behind us and at all of our physical locations are involved in an e-group. This is what we're going to ask for you to do. Maybe every Sunday you start meeting with a group of people that are
Right.
your age, people that
Right.
you trust, people that you
Right.
love, you believe in, you care about,
Yes.
and start discussing these episodes with each other.
Right.
We want to be able to see what God is doing through this conversation.
Right. So kind of like little watch parties.
Yep.
With youth, where they
That's
can
right.
come around, and then when we have rhythm nights, get those same group of people together
Uh-huh.
and have a watch party and watch rhythm nights.
So we're going to do a little bit of that tonight. We're going to
Yep.
see us play some games. We're going to have a conversation, but then afterwards, we're going to be discussing and asking questions with some teenagers,
Right.
16-year-olds, 17-year-olds, 18-year-olds,
Right.
and really diving in deeper on this topic.
Right. So we want to make sure
It'll be
you
good.
know this experience is just going to be different. Maybe you're tuning in and you're like, okay, I know that Elevation is going to be worship, and then there's a sermon, and then tonight is completely different because
Way different.
it is for youth.
Yep.
And so we're going to be doing this. We're going to be having some fun, and then we are going to go right into a message.
That's right.
It's going to look a little different than maybe what you're used to, but
That's
I
right.
encourage you to lean in.
And here's what we want you to do. A couple of things
Okay.
before we get
Couple.
really into this. A couple.
Okay.
It's more like a few.
Okay. A handful.
Share. First
Share.
thing,
Yes.
share this experience
Right.
right now. Maybe you've got some friends that are near you that you know that would love to dive into this conversation. Sharing is caring.
Sharing is caring.
Copyrighted.
That's right.
Timothy Michael Ward Summers.
That's your little
That's my
tagline.
tagline.
Always. Yes.
I'm gonna stick with it forever.
Yes, make sure you share this experience. Also, in YouTube, you can like our channel. We want
Like
to make
it.
sure that you like, we like you. We want to see if you
Yeah.
like us.
And while you're liking, make sure you comment, okay?
Here we go.
So share this experience, comment, we love opinions, and then hit that like button.
Yeah.
Let us know that you like us because we like you. And
Okay.
then, most important one,
Most importantly, yes.
subscribe.
Okay. Subscribe.
Now, the reason why you need to subscribe is
Yes.
because you never know when we're going to go live, except it's every third Sunday of the month at 5 p.m.
Yes, that's right. But if we go out of rhythm
Yeah.
and maybe go live another time, you want to make sure you're there for it, for sure.
Yes. And then click the bell for notifications right next to that subscribe button.
Right.
In case we drop any of the episodes,
Right.
you will be the first to be notified.
Yes.
And to make sure that you're having those discussions with your
Right.
e-group or with the people that you are watching with.
That's great. That's great. Okay, so
You
we've
ready?
given you a lot of instructions, but let's
good.
have some fun. Like, let's play some games.
You ready to
Let's
play
do
some
more
games?
I
Right
think
now,
so, yes.
right now we have Lou in the middle, right behind us,
Lou?
in the middle of the sweat and the lack of deodorant.
Sorry, Lou.
And she's gonna be
So
doing
sorry.
some tailgate trivia with some teenagers.
Yes.
Lou, how are you doing right now?
Lulu.
Hello everybody, like Tim said, my name is Lou Rutan and we are going to be doing a little bit of tailgate trivia. So here's the thing, if you're probably looking at me thinking, there's no way this girl knows anything about sport, I just want to say, you're not wrong. But I am hoping that my friends over here may know a thing or two about, NFL and all of that stuff. But come on over. Hello! What's your name?
I'm sorry. I'm Elijah Sanders.
Hello Elijah, where do you go to school?
I couldn't hear you. What'd you say?
Where do you go to school?
Oh, I go to RG Kell High School.
Nice. Okay, I have a question for you. All right. What famous cartoon dad once said, "The game is nothing." That's the first thing. But all that it is really just another opportunity to go tailgating. Who said that?
I honestly don't know.
I honestly don't know is not the correct answer, but it is Homer Simpson. You didn't know that? Good, neither did I. Okay, moving on. Come on over. Hey girl, what's your name?
I'm Alexia.
Hello, and how old are you?
I'm 17.
17, you're almost 18. That's crazy.
I actually forgot my age. I'm 18. It was last week. It's been fresh. It's a new birthday.
I'm very confused at how old you are right now, so we are going to move on. What color were the penalty flags in the NFL back in 1965?
Oh my gosh. Yellow?
Not even close. The color is white, all right? Nah. Moving on. Okay. How many years must, firstly, let me just get to know you. What's your name?
Cameron. My name is Cameron. How are you?
Hello, Cameron. You know, you're the first person who's asked me how I'm doing, and I'm doing pretty good. Sundays are my favorite days, but my question to you is, how many years must a player be retired to be eligible for the Pro Football Hall of Fame?
I'm about to say 5 years. 5 years.
Are you looking at my answers? Are you serious? I am very impressed right now.
Is it 5? It's 5?
Yeah, it's 5.
Let's go.
Jeez. All right. Okay, you can go. Next person. Okay, I have a question for you, all right? What sportscaster posted an NFL coaching record of 103, 22, 7?
Wait, were those numbers my answer choices?
Not even close. I'm guessing the answer is I have no idea, right?
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I'll go with that. All right. Moving on. Come on over. Hello. What's your name?
Brady?
Hello, Brady. You're not wearing your tag like you were earlier.
No.
Good call. I have a question for you, all right?
All right, what's that?
At which NFL stadium can you order alligator sausage? I'm going to need you to think real hard about this one because this is an important one.
It is.
First of all, do you like alligator sausage?
I do not know.
I get it. I understand why. But tell me the stadium.
Miami Dolphins.
No, not even close. The correct answer is Mercedes-Benz Superdome. You guys didn't do a great job, but you definitely tried. And I'm going to be throwing it over to Tim and Rebecca.
Come on.
Hello.
Those are some hard questions.
They were. I didn't know any of them.
I think I knew the white penalty flags one.
Okay.
That's only because I
made up the
chose
questions.
the questions.
That's right.
So
So of course you would know that.
yeah.
But they did good.
Yeah, they did pretty bad, you know,
Yeah.
not too bad.
I mean, nobody answered
But
the
you know what?
right
I
thing.
thought we would have some fun here because here's
Okay.
the deal. We got people all over the world
Yes.
watching, and when we talk about tailgate theme, usually
Yep.
you think football.
Yep.
And here in
Football.
America, you
Right.
think like,
Football. You know, not the right kind of. I mean, it's like
yeah,
you don't
it's like
play
with
with
your
your
hand.
feet.
Yeah.
Yes.
But I didn't want to isolate the other half of the world.
Yeah,
Because
right.
when you think of maybe tailgating or football,
Right.
you think of football.
Right. That's,
you know?
that was a good accent.
Football.
Is that how they say it?
Football.
Football. Okay.
Football, yes.
All right. That's
good,
great.
right?
Yes.
So, behind us, we've got a foosball
Yes.
table.
I am not good at this. Are we playing this?
No, we're not going to play this,
Okay,
but
great.
we are going to have our own rendition of this. Are you
Okay.
ready?
Okay.
Or
sounds good.
rendition. Rendition is not a word, but
No.
rendition is the word.
Okay.
And we're going to play blindfolded foosball.
Yes.
Are you ready for this?
I am ready. Yes.
We're not going to play. We're
Okay.
going to grab some teenagers to
Okay.
play.
Yes.
Come on, bud. I
Yes.
want you to introduce yourself to the entire world right now. What's your name?
Hi, entire world. I'm Eric Sanders.
This is Eric. This is my guy right here. And I'm
Okay.
believing that he's going to win merely because of this arm strength
Okay.
right here.
All
I mean,
right.
massive.
That's fine. Tell us your name.
My name's Rachel Bozarth, and I'm going to be Eric Sanders.
Yes.
Uh-oh.
That's right.
Oh, trash talking begins
Yes.
immediately.
Yes. Girl power.
And she's got a
That's
fan
right.
base. She's got a fan base. Are you ready
Yes.
for this?
All right. Can you
Okay,
hold this?
here we go. We're going to get you
Okay.
blindfolded.
So
Let's do this right.
So his team is going to be the green team, and then her team is going to be the black team. So just so that we can keep score, I know you guys see on the screen. So the green team and the black team.
All right, now we are the green team, okay? Now can you see us? Can't see. How many fingers am I holding up? 32. Well, I don't have that many fingers, but here we go.
Is that good? Okay.
Put your hands right there. All right, there you go.
And there.
Feel good? You feel good?
Now-
Feeling good? Now, who do y'all think's going to win?
The black team, you're
Eric,
going to be
Eric,
kicking
Eric.
the ball
Eric's
to
gonna
the
win.
right.
Eric's gonna win.
Green
Got
team,
Rachel.
you're going to be kicking the ball to the left.
I don't know. Are you ready? Let's get a ball. Put it in the slot. Are you ready for this?
Yes, we're
They're
ready.
going to cheer you on, so you're going to have to kind of listen around. Blindfolded foosball. Here we go.
All right.
On your mark, get set, go.
All right, go. Go to the left.
It's getting close. Come over here.
Oh, yes.
No,
That is
no.
1 point for the
You're
black
losing right
team.
now, all right? You're
1
losing
point
right
for
now.
the black team. We're just gonna
It's-
move this over.
It's 1-0. It's 1-0. Are you ready? Yes. Here we go. We're going to try again. 3, 2, 1. That was a long shot.
Over here, to the right.
It's over here. Over here. There you go. Oh!
They're moving the entire table. You guys so strong.
1-1.
All right.
This is
That's
getting
one
crazy.
for the green team. Okay, so
this
it's
is
1
it.
and 1. Yep.
This is sudden death. The next point wins. Are you ready? On your mark, get set, go. You got 2 more balls.
Yep, keep going.
2 more.
Almost.
This is
Oh, they're moving
getting
the table.
ridiculous.
They're so strong. Okay.
Get close.
Oh.
One.
Oh my gosh.
Come on.
Okay.
Over to the
Yes.
left. Over here.
Yes. Almost.
It's just.
Yes. This is amazing. How
He
are they
saved
so
it.
strong?
It's just.
You know what?
Here's the deal.
She did score 1, but
She
he
did
hit
score 1,
2
but you
in.
scored 2.
Yes.
So Eric, you are the winner.
Wow.
Team Green.
Yes.
They've won. That's
Here you go.
He
You
said
can
he would
have
like to
this
thank
as a
his mom and
consolation
dad
prize.
for the winning
can
and
take
the
off the
trophy.
blindfold,
You can take it
yes.
off, Eric.
Thank you
You
guys.
can save it. Nice
Thank you
little
guys so
ascot
much.
for you.
Yes.
Wow,
Man.
that was a little intense.
That was intense. They
was
were
very
better
intense.
blindfolded than I am just normally with my
yes.
time. So.
Now, hey, we're having a lot of fun, and I'm
Yep.
super excited for you guys to be able to really dive into this conversation. We're talking about dating,
Yep.
relationships, sex, purity, and get all your giggles out now.
Yes.
We get it. Yes, a church is talking about this stuff, real issues, real topics, right?
Right.
Real things that they're asking, and
But it's
they have
necessary.
questions. It
It's
is
very
much
important.
necessary.
Yes.
And so it's really cool to be able to see the insight
Yep.
that we had the honor and privilege of being able to kind of shoot and get footage of Pastor Micahn
Right.
and his son Meeks and that conversation that they had. And what's
Right.
awesome is how he was a parent, but at the same time a pastor.
Yeah, it's so cool.
It
Yes.
it brings so much insight. And so,
Right.
hey, make sure, as
Yes.
EFAM, what do they need to be doing right
Yeah,
now?
we want to make sure that you're leaning in, that you're paying attention. I mean, this is the message. If you're
Yeah.
wondering, hey, we're waiting for the message. We
Uh-huh.
want to hear the word. Well, this is the message that we're about to go into. So make sure you're taking notes. If you have any questions, here in a little bit after the message, we're going to be sitting and having a conversation
right.
with some youth. But we're also going to be looking in the chat window and answering any questions that maybe you have that
That's
you're
right.
putting in the chat window. So make sure you're paying attention, taking notes, and writing down any questions maybe you have.
That's right. You're going to enjoy this.
Yes.
Enjoy it. Have fun.
Let's talk about this real quick. Let's talk about the king real quick. This is a smart move.
Smart move. LeBron James, greatest player all time.
So are they getting a ring this year, next year? Or ever?
They're going to get rings. Maybe not this year. My prediction, Kobe's coming out of retirement.
My God.
He's going to come out of retirement. Mark my words. You guys document this. He's coming out of retirement, and we're going to get a ring. A couple rings.
One more thing. When are we gonna play again? Because you've been talking about your back hurting, and it's been going on for a couple years.
You're only good as your last game, and last game I smacked you.
Yeah, I was also 12 years old.
Nah, bro, you was a sophomore in high school in your prime, and I smacked you.
Yeah, my prime at sophomore year at 15 years old.
I let you get as good as you can get. I broke my back.
I'll break it again if you play, so it's probably best you don't.
You know the deal. I'm like this guy in the jersey.
Old.
You don't want none of this, boy. You don't want none of this. How's you and your girl, man?
It's going really good. We haven't seen each other in a while, so that sucks.
Yeah, the whole long distance thing.
Yeah, it's kind of tough, but it's good. It's healthy. It helps us build character for ourselves, and hopefully she's developing.
You got a little bit better now with long distance, because like when I dated Mom and I was in Seattle and she was in Yakima, I had to like call collect or like had to pay to talk to her. And you got FaceTime, man, so you can like, yo girl, what's up? Let me just see you on the other end.
Yeah, that's cool, but it's awkward with roommates, so I kind of have to like finesse and go in your
Or if you
car.
gotta get up and use restroom, that's not.
Yeah, like how do you do that? Like, oh, hold up.
Hold on real quick, yeah.
Let me put you on mute real quick.
Yeah, well, you know, the truth is, in relationships, I know they're always tricky, always difficult. There's challenges. There's definitely similar challenges that me and Mom had, and there's probably different challenges that you guys have, obviously, because culture is shifting. But obviously, I got to do my job to be pops and navigate and guide and help you think through some of the decisions, and hopefully you can make better decisions than me and Mommy, because, you know, obviously there are some things like, you know, boundaries, purity, all that kind of stuff that we got to think through. So we got to talk about that stuff.
Let's talk about it.
So let's talk about this whole sex thing and how it affects and how that's going to look like. You know, me and Mommy's story, just the whole concept of we didn't wait, and my whole background is filled with all kinds of sex with all different kinds of people from the time I was going to be a freshman in high school.
Yeah.
And so I felt the pressure. I knew the pressure. I also know that you've bumped your head along the way when it comes to this reality of sex, and being able to speak to it, like, how do you navigate now in this new relationship to ensure, or how does the culture even help you live a pure life or not, in the context of now you're trying to do this for real and you live in an era where stuff's thrown at you all the time?
Yeah, it's difficult because you have Instagram and movies and music, and all you see is naked fitness girls, and it's glorified. Like, you see guys with a bunch of girls and you think it's something you should do because it's what's dope to everyone else. And I think for me, I had to go through that season where I had to get off all social media and remove myself from that because it was damaging for me. And it may not have been, someone else could have handled it, but I couldn't because I wanted sex. And so I think if you want to win, you have to really discipline yourself and be okay with not being involved with everything. And understand that if you want to be pure, if you want to stand for it, then stand for it. And
okay, so take me back your 5th grade, 6th grade. I know that sometimes we've talked about that there was this pressure of you want to do the right things. You actually feel like Jesus is the center of your everything. And then somewhere along the way, junior high, you get introduced to pornography. And so take me in that cycle of, okay, I'm trying to live for God and I'm raised in the church and I know what's right, but now there's this pull. So step me through that. What's being thrown at your face? How are you trying to navigate in that world?
Yeah, so I got first time exposed to pornography was 5th grade, actually, with the PSP, which is dope, way before its time.
PSP.
Yeah, super sick. But this kid showed me, I was like, all right, like that's weird, like whatever. And then once I got into middle school, I was still like, I'm staying pure, I'm taking a stand for God, I'm not doing what everyone else does. And I got made fun of like so much for it. They were like, call me gay because I didn't have a girlfriend. And I would go home and cry all the time because I'm just like, God, you said I can have this dope life and this fun life, but I'm getting made fun of for it. And then I remember reading a verse, I think it was 6th grade, Luke 6:21, it talks about, don't go worried when people hate you, mock you, exclude you, curse you as evil because you follow Jesus. When this happens, leap for joy. And I was like, okay, like I guess this is worth it. And then I remember 7th grade, I remember sitting at a lunch table with my friends, and there was this girl who was in 8th grade who everyone thought she was the hottest girl ever, which, I mean,
She's pretty.
she was pretty. So I'm like, all right, whatever. So we're sitting there, and she looks me in the eyes, which is intimidating as a 7th grader when a girl looks at you. And she says,
Did she like lock on? Did she link it?
well, she like took a sip of chocolate milk first, and then she looked at me and she goes, it's my birthday tomorrow, will you have sex with me?
Wow.
I'm like, wow, how do I respond to this with the hot girl and all my friends showing there? But I read that verse and I felt like, this is what I need to do, and it's not right, it's not who I am. And immediately I told her, it's not who you are, and no, I'm not. And everyone made fun of me at the table. And so I went home and just cried, because I'm like, I'm trying to live pure and live right and do all these things, because I want God's best for my life, but everyone didn't understand. And so I got excluded and made fun of, just like the verse said, is what I hated. I hate being lonely, I hate being made fun of. And that was my reality every day at school. So 8th grade comes and I'm like, I can't deal with this anymore, like whatever. So I start, picking on kids, and
Which is technically not who you are. You've never been someone like, you're anti-bullying. You hate when people bully people, but now the pressure,
the feeling of being left out or not noticed or being a nobody gets to your head, and you feel like, well, I need to be a part of this because I'm missing out, and you feel like you're missing out on everything. And so I would join, and then...
What does that do? Okay, so you join in. Obviously, I'm on the other end, so I've seen this process in your life. But like, there's a tendency that people think like, if I do it, then the feeling will go away, but it actually like sucks you further in. Like, it's like, I'll look, then I won't need to look again. I'll do that, I won't need to do it again. And you think you're gonna just get it out of your system, but it ends up like almost like taking over to where now you're no longer in control.
It's, you think you'll feel like you're a part of something, you feel satisfied, and you do in the moment. And as soon as it's done, or you're high, or you're whatever, after you watch porn or whatever, then you feel immediate shame, immediate, what the heck did I just do? This isn't right. But then you feel like it's good, so you're stuck in this battle between, should I keep going or do I stop? And then you're just stuck because now you feel like, I don't know what to do because I like it. And I'm supposed to, like, I like girls and I like, sex is good. Like, sex was made for me. So I'm like, how do I do that? And then I think part of it was I was too afraid to talk about it. Because I'm a pastor's kid and no one knew. And I'm like, I'm not supposed to be looking at this, but I didn't know how to bring that up.
Because the shame makes you want to hide.
Because the shame makes you want to hide. It makes you want to, just cover up and isolate yourself from everything else because you're embarrassed.
Okay, so you're 8th grade, 9th grade, 10th grade.
Yeah.
You're wrestling through all these seasons, you're probably feeling like one day, okay, I want to do the right thing, and you do the right thing.
Yeah, it would be, I would do the right thing, and immediately they would make fun of me, or immediately they would, or I would get a DM, or wake up to a nude picture, or wake up to just anything. Like, first thing I would wake up to every day was a naked picture of a different girl every day. And so I knew it was wrong, and then I would delete that person, and then I'd be like, but I liked it. And so it's like...
Right, tug of war.
Yeah.
You think you're gonna master it, but it ends up mastering
like
you.
If I just taper it, like if I just don't do it as much, then it's cool. Like, it's fine. But then you're still stuck.
Okay, so you're in a web.
Yeah.
Because obviously this isn't the way you want to live, but you're in a web. It gets to a point where it's out of control. You never had a girlfriend. I never let you have a girlfriend. I was like, you can't have a girlfriend. You can't drive. You ain't got no job. If you can't pay for the food.
Yeah, when I got in trouble.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, I remember that. It was awful.
So you weren't allowed to have a girlfriend because we said you just aren't mature enough to really handle it and to contain it, right? And so you spin out of control, and there's a season of your life where it's very difficult, where you just basically go all in.
Yeah, I felt like I'm a failure. I'll never be good enough. I'm disgusting. I'm disqualified. God can't use me. And so they always talk about being hot or cold, so I'm like, I'm just going to go.
Just be cold.
Just be cold. And I didn't care. I didn't care about church, didn't care about family, friends, God. I just was living for me because I felt like I tried God and it didn't work.
Right.
And it got deeper, porn every day, all day, naked pictures, like DMs, all that stuff, all you can think of. And then I got caught, and I didn't get caught, but I had sex, and then stuff came out, and then I just felt disgusting.
Right.
And embarrassed, and like, I'm a failure, the whole church is gonna kick me out and whatever, and all this stuff. But yeah, you just get stuck in a cycle because you feel so embarrassed and ashamed, but you feel like, how do I even talk about this?
Right.
When everyone else is saying it's good, and everything around me saying it's okay, but I know it's wrong, how do I bring this up and not feel like I'm less than?
Right. And then we had a moment after that whole ordeal where I talked to you about how there's definitely, obviously you're feeling all those emotions, and we had a moment where we're in the living room, and I tell you, who are you? And you begin to utter, I'm a liar, I'm this, I'm that, I'm fake, I'm phony, I'm this, and you list a whole bunch of things. And in that moment, I hadn't talked to you in like a couple days because I'm trying to
about a week.
Process, what am I gonna say? Because I'm devastated because I know that's my past and I didn't want that to be your future. And after you say all that thing, I was able to look at you and affirm you and say, but you're not that. You are called, you are chosen, you are forgiven, you are worth it, you are honest, you are honorable. And we kind of had that moment, but the truth is not everyone has a dad in their life that's going to be able to pick them up when they fall down. And God is saying that, and God would be speaking that over them even in that moment. Like,
yeah, I think that's why it's so beneficial to get connected with a leader or even a friend. Like, find someone who's trying to pursue the same thing as you and chase God like you, and talk about it. Like, it's in the Bible. Like, talk about it.
Yeah.
I think it's just been a thing to where people have tried to jump over it or not speak to it. Like, make you feel bad that you want to have sex, or make you feel bad that you like girls or attracted to them. Like, no, like, you're supposed to have that. Let's talk about this and figure out how I can navigate and control this in this time when everyone says it's okay, but I know I'm trying to live this godly life.
Right.
And I think that's if a lot of people don't have you or to speak to them, and I think that's why it's important to be connected in your youth ministry with leaders or pastors or someone who can affirm you, guide you, and help you.
Absolutely. Okay, so here we are. You bumped your head. You've come out of that. Obviously, you're in a relationship and you want to honor God.
Yep.
How do you do that? Because you've already seen, you've already touched it, you've already experienced it.
Yeah.
How do you now go, okay, if I'm going to do this God's way, and obviously there's a benefit to it because, some of the cycle and the downward spiral is a byproduct of the sin and the shame. So you get the sin, so you experience shame. So it's like the enemy whispers, you're not good enough, you're not going to amount anything. So then you just throw in the towel. And it's not like God left. It's almost like you just are so defeated that you don't even know how to get back up.
Yeah.
But now you're up, and now you're in this position where the feelings of wanting and desiring sex haven't went out the window. They're still there.
They're definitely still there.
They're definitely
Praise
still
God,
there.
they're still there, honestly.
Amen, right?
Yeah.
So they're still there. And now you're getting closer to marriage than ever. So now it's like the wind of opportunity. It's like, man, I'm right there. Like, people could be going, well, I'm already, like, how people say, like, well, we're going to get married anyway, right?
Yeah.
So, like, what's keeping you, or how are you managing that to try to honor God, knowing that, like, you've been given a second chance to do the right thing?
Yeah.
How do you do that?
I think the first thing you have to do is have that conversation and talk about it with
The girl.
The girl. And
So you had it. What'd you say?
I said, this is what we're living by. I'm honoring you, I'm honoring your family, I'm honoring God, and I'm honoring myself. And we said, you set up boundaries and just have an open conversation and include people in on it. Parents and...
Yeah, so we have those conversations. We're like, hey, what are you doing, bro?
What are you doing? Where you hanging out? Just have certain times, and it's almost overprotect yourself.
But you're an adult. Why would you need to do that? You're a grown-up now. Why would you need to, you're 19, you're at college. Why would you need to have boundaries now?
Well, because it's 10 o'clock and I'm horny.
Yeah, exactly.
And I need you. You're there, and we're dating, so it's cool. It is what it is. But, you're human. You're supposed to feel that. You're gonna feel.
So what you're saying is you need a plan before the game.
Plan before the game. Yeah, it's practice. You practice before the game.
Yeah.
And you have to discipline yourself and understand that less is really more. This great pastor, he wrote this book called Greater. You probably know him.
Yeah.
Yeah, Pastor Steven, in the book, he says God is more concerned with our full obedience than our full understanding. And that's how I want to live my life. I want to fully obey instead of fully understand. And I think God is so good and God is so great to where he wants the best for me. So I'm going to trust that and understand that in the end, I'm going to have a great marriage and we're going to enjoy sex, and it's going to be intimate and something that it was created to be, and not out of lust or out of just myself, but it's something that God created from the beginning that is supposed to have with my spouse.
Well, I'm proud of you, son. I think you're going to do it. I think you're going to make it, and keep doing the right thing, man. God's going to honor it.
Love you, Dad.
Bro,
What?
how come you never told me about that 8th grade girl?
About that? Okay. How do you bring that up? It's like, hey, just want to let you know, back in 7th grade, this girl asked me to have sex with her.
I just want to know who her parents are.
I want to applaud her, first of all, for having that kind of courage. Not the right kind, but my God. Anyways.
8th grade. I just want to know one thing. Kiki, do you love me? Are we riding? That was it.
Yeah, it's Phil.
Hey.
You know who we need to get to do that is Mom.
Mom.
She has to do it.
Get in the car, boy. Got places to go.
I mean, that is as raw as it gets.
That was real.
Right?
Yeah, that was some real conversation,
and
for sure.
It's been pretty cool to even just watch some of the comments that are going on. I saw Meeks kind of jump on. What's up, Meeks?
Yes.
Thank you for the interview.
It was so great.
We love you.
Yeah, thank you for being honest.
That's
I think
right.
we need more of that.
We need a lot more of that.
So.
And so what's about to happen right now is make sure that you are kind of putting in questions. Let us know what you're thinking. We want to be able to interact with you on this. We can see it happening live time. And so Rebecca's going to kind of help us navigate the conversation. But right now, we've got some pretty cool teenagers, some of my cool friends in the building. And they're going to introduce themselves in just a second. Then we're going to kind of dive into some questions and maybe go a little deeper on some of the things that Meeks and Micahn were talking about. But a couple things. If you're just joining us, this is Rhythm Night, and this is an experience for teenagers.
Right.
So that's from 12 years old all the way to about 19. So I know we had a lot of questions throughout that. And someone did ask, when is it appropriate to talk about this kind of stuff. Yeah. And we were like, hey, well, we're starting at 12, and maybe if you have to, it's case by case. Maybe if you have to, something comes up with your child or your teenager or your elementary age child, if you need to have that conversation, do it.
Have the conversation.
Have the conversation. And that's what we're trying to do right now. And so make sure that you're sharing the experience.
Yep.
We want as many people to know about what's going on here and really be able to understand, hey, look, the church wants to be real. The church wants to be raw.
And have these conversations. We want people, as many people, to get to be a part of this portion, especially of Rhythm Night as possible. So share the experience.
Sharing is caring. Make sure you comment. We love opinions. Give us a little like, or give us a dislike. people are so afraid
know?
to say give us a dislike, I'm okay with it because
Right.
at least you're interacting, and we can, I mean, every single month we're trying to change and get better,
Yeah.
and we want it to be beneficial for EFAM,
Right.
our youth EFAM, right?
Yeah.
So this is only our second time
Right.
doing it, right?
Yes.
So then subscribe. That's the most important thing. Make sure you subscribe just so you're able to get all of the episodes throughout the week, because this is not something that we're talking about for 30 minutes.
Right.
We're going to be talking about this in our e-group time for the next 4 weeks, okay? So e-group is a small group of teenagers that are meeting throughout the week, and then they're diving in specifically on what Micahn and Meeks were talking about. And so we drop episodes on YouTube every
Yes.
Sunday at 3 p.m. so that you can do that like a watch party
Right.
style.
Right.
Get some people from your school and
Yep.
talk about this specific thing. I know one of the subjects we're going to be talking about is defining the line.
Right. So many people have questions on that too.
How far is too far,
Right.
right? You know what I'm
Right.
talking about?
Yes.
And so it's like we need to be able to talk about those things and really try to see what does the Bible say
Right.
about this stuff, because they're talking about it somewhere.
Right.
Might as well be in the church.
Yes, absolutely. Yes.
So make sure you do that, and then click the bell
Yeah.
for notifications so you're the first one to know about it.
Absolutely.
But let's get
Yeah.
into
Yeah,
this.
let's introduce our friends.
Yes, these are our friends.
Yes.
Yes, we love them. So, hey, why don't you tell them, introduce yourself, let them know your name, how old you are, and maybe your favorite NFL team.
Okay. Yes.
My name is Anna. I'm 17 years old. My favorite NFL team would have to be the Panthers.
The Panthers,
Gotta go with
okay.
them, yeah.
East Coast till you die. There you go. I love it.
My name is Ansley. I'm 16 years old, and I can't say that I have a favorite NFL team because I'm Tigers all the way. So.
There
Okay.
you go. College.
Yeah.
College.
Yes.
I love it.
My name is Devin. I'm 15, and my favorite team is definitely the Arizona Cardinals.
Arizona Cardinals. Larry Fitzgerald. You know, I mean, that's what I think about when I think about the
Yes.
Cardinals. He's like 64 and he's still catching
Still going
football.
strong.
Still going strong.
Yes.
You know, so, and he's on my fantasy team,
Yeah.
but it's questionable right now, so God help
Right.
him.
God help him.
We're talking about dating.
We
Are you
are.
ready for this?
Yes.
We're talking about relationships and purity and sex, and
Yep.
and we get all your giggles out now.
Right.
Right. That's why we got a bunch of high schoolers with us
Right.
today.
We couldn't do it. We couldn't have middle school.
Yeah,
That was-
I know. It was going to be too crazy.
Yep.
So let's start off with an easy one,
Yes.
because this would be interesting, babe. You can't answer this question, okay? Only them.
Okay.
But
All right.
if you
Seems-
could go on a date with any celebrity, only one date, any celebrity, who would it be?
Noah Centineo.
What? Okay.
Girls know what I mean. I mean, to all the boys I
Noah.
loved before. That's
Yeah.
Peter
Who is
Kavinsky.
this person?
known as.
Why
Well,
do I not know this?
On the
person? Do you
comments
know?
earlier, Noah Centineo, they were saying, they were
Oh,
like, I
yes.
think Meeks
Yeah.
looks like Noah Centineo.
Yes. I'm still Michaela, or still Michaela. Yeah, she said that
More
earlier.
known as
She was
Peter
like,
Klavinsky. So
Yes.
I would definitely.
Let everyone know who that
Yes.
is,
Let's
just
see.
in case our viewers
Peter
don't.
Klavinsky from the movie.
To all the boys I've ever loved before.
Okay,
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah.
Are you
Alright.
saying it's a Netflix recommendation?
That's what
It's
it looks
definitely
like.
a recommendation.
Okay.
Definitely.
Okay.
I've never met
Not
one
only for girls, but for guys
Shaggy
too. I
hair.
mean, my brother
Shaggy
watched
hair.
it. He
does
loved it.
kind of look like Meeks.
Have you seen it?
There you go.
Oh, people are trying to get me to watch it. I'm like,
It's great.
Like,
Don't
no.
conform. That's what you're like.
Okay,
That's
all right.
amazing.
All right, what about you? Who would
Jennifer
you?
Aniston.
Classy.
Throwback.
Throwback.
Yeah.
That is a
Sorry,
straight throwback right now.
Yes.
Wow.
Big fan of Friends, huh? Big fan of Friends.
I mean,
That's
you're a
true.
big fan
I mean,
of Friends,
she's
but
beautiful.
she
is.
is like
It's fine.
64,
It's fine.
maybe.
Hey, but she looks like she's 30, so.
I was not expecting that. I'm very impressed. I'm very impressed for, everyone who knows who Jennifer Aniston is.
Yes.
She's not in really like movies nowadays, right?
No, not so much.
Not
I
so
wouldn't
much.
say.
Yeah, not.
Yeah, not
She's
too
like
much.
on every magazine cover. but-
Yeah.
That's true. That's true.
Okay, so this conversation was, it was so good.
Yeah.
It was so helpful. What maybe kind of let us know what was something that stood out to you when it came between this Micahn and Meeks conversation.
For me, when Pastor Micahn said that you try to do things for the last time because you know that it's not right, but you just try to get it in like one more time, and you're doing that by thinking that you're controlling the situation, but the situation ends up controlling you.
Right.
So that really stuck out to me.
Has that ever happened to you?
Yeah, actually, so as a teenager with a lot of things, whether it's like talking to certain people or the way that I talk or doing things in relationships, for me personally, it has. And I said like, okay, I'm going to do it one last time. And then that doesn't cut it. And I'm like, okay, then I'll do it one last time.
Yeah.
And then that doesn't cut it.
And it's a vicious cycle.
Yes.
Okay, so how do you get out of that? How do you get out of that vicious cycle of, okay, maybe next time or tomorrow I'll start. I mean, we can go even really applicable here and be like, okay, I'm going to read my Bible tomorrow.
Yeah.
I'm going to make sure I do that. I missed it this morning. How do you even get out of that vicious cycle?
For me personally, it's just being vulnerable and talking to other people about that situation.
Yeah. That's good.
And just kind of putting my pride aside and just letting them know what I'm going through, because 9 times out of 10, they've probably either gone through it or they're going through it together. So we can just.
I mean, at this age, you're trying to create healthy habits for your life.
Yeah.
Right.
And what's crazy is when you are saying things like, okay, tomorrow I'll be better, or next time, or man, I messed up again.
Right.
Then this time, I think a lot of people will start feeling bad for feeling that.
Yeah,
First off, that's the Holy Spirit.
Yeah.
Right.
That's conviction, where you're feeling going, oh man, this is not the way that God has designed me.
Yeah. Right.
He doesn't want me to live like this, right? He has something better for me. So when that happens so much, then we find ourselves going, you know what, I just can't do it.
Right.
You know, we're in that vicious cycle. And we're like, I'm not going to tell anyone about it, whatever.
Yeah.
But that is so good to be able to have people in your sphere of influence that you can talk to about this stuff, because they're the ones that kind of help you get out of that cycle, right? And they might even have some practical tools to go, hey, try this. It worked for me. Maybe it'll work for you.
Right.
What else?
Something that stood out to me for sure was it was just one of those messages that is so like avoided. It's a topic that is really embarrassing to talk about, I think, and something that people just kind of steer clear from. And I think that a message that I heard from Michael Todd, he spoke about I wish somebody would have told me. And I think that this is a message that is really going to reach some people, so that they don't have to feel that I wish somebody would have told me, that they're going to hear it now and they're going to hear it young, and it's going to stick with them in like their relationships, and they're going to be really glad that they came here tonight and that God really put this message on their hearts. So
That's so good. I feel like that's so true. And as a church, I love that we are opening this conversation to talk about it, because when I think about it, I think about maybe youth that are saying like, man, I wish I would have known sooner, but I didn't know who to talk to, because all of my friends that I know, maybe they don't have the right mindset towards sex and towards relationships. But they're the main ones that are talking about it. And so I know it's like, man, if the church doesn't talk about it, then when it comes up in my life, who am I going to go to? Probably my friends that are already talking about it, right? So if we as a church open that up and just like, okay, we know this is awkward, we know this is going to be weird, but let's just open the doors and just talk about it. I feel like that'll give youth more of a place to come and be like, hey, all right, you guys started the conversation. Let's talk.
That's so great. I'm watching some of these comments, and they're
Yes.
saying, even one said, hey, is Rhythm Night over, or did it just start? Well, actually, we're in the middle of it right now. Behind us for our Valentine location, it is about to start, and so thanks for joining us. But Devin, I wanted to ask you this. What does a godly relationship look like to you?
A godly relationship to me really looks like keeping God at the center of things, making sure that you and the person that's in the relationship, whether it's dating or just a friendship or whatever, make sure you guys are like reading the Bible together, like being like, hey, what's God teaching you? Things like that.
You know what? I've heard people say that before, like, let's pray together. Let's read the Bible together. I don't know. I mean, I feel like that is one of the most intimate things that you can do with someone.
Yeah.
Right.
I think even when I was a teenager, it wasn't too long ago, okay?
Right. We're still young.
I heard that and I tried it and realized, whoa, this is very, very intimate because when you're talking with God, I mean, he knows everything.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And you know he knows. You know he knows what you're thinking and all of that.
Right.
So give us some maybe some practical things when you talk about a relationship and you know, putting Jesus at the center of it. So maybe it is praying together. Maybe it is like you're talking about your devotionals that you're doing separate together. I think that's huge. What maybe some other things that when you talk about putting Jesus at the center, what else does that look like?
I feel like a lot of times it's really hard to just like sit down and read your Bible with someone. Like it takes time and it can sometimes be awkward. So I think just talking like, what is God teaching you? Like, what are you going through in this season? What are you learning from it? How are you going about that? Like, who's walking you through with it? Like, all those type of things.
Have you ever done that before?
Yeah, with a couple people. It's kind of nerve-wracking.
Is it nerve-wracking? It's
yeah,
awkward,
yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because it's not normal,
So,
Yeah. It isn't.
right?
It doesn't happen a lot at all.
Doesn't happen a lot, and I think that's something that we've got to continue. What were you gonna say?
I was just going to say, I know, Ainsley, we were talking earlier, and you said something about not making the other person, like, I think that youth now, they get in a relationship, and then their whole world revolves around that person.
Yeah.
Like, it's
like that.
everything.
Yeah.
You wake up, where's the text from them? You go to sleep, where's the text from them? Are they texting you during the day? Are they texting you enough? Not enough? What is that like?
Exactly.
And so I think, Devin, more of what you're saying, like, if you can bring God into the conversation and make it about him and not so much about the other person, you'll start to have healthier boundaries as a relationship, because your relationship will be centered around him and not so much just completely focused on the other person. I think that's so good.
That's great. All right, here's a good one. Are you ready? What's the hardest part about living out a godly relationship?
I have someone
You have some?
from online. Sorry, you guys can answer in a minute. So
you can think about it now.
Yes, you can have a moment to think.
This is good.
So Anissa said, what do you do if your parents would literally see like talking about sex as taboo? If your parents wouldn't necessarily feel comfortable talking about sex with you as a teenager or as a youth?
Man, what do you do? Oh my gosh, that's very interesting because, I mean,
right.
A lot of times when you talk up, especially the church, when the church is talking about this, or parents can think, oh my gosh, they're trying to force this on my child, force this on my kid. And in reality, I know that we're not trying to do that. We're just trying to help partner with you to be able, because we know that they are talking about it. I mean, my child is 11 years old and he's already asking me questions. I mean, he's barely into 6th grade, and I'm like, what? Are you kidding me right now? We're talking about this? And so we want to make sure that we're partnering with them. And so again, when it comes to parents, that's case by case.
Right.
But make sure that you are getting around the right influences.
Right.
Don't just look at Instagram for the answers to what should I do about sex. Don't just look at Cosmopolitan. I don't know if people still want to look at that. I'm dating myself.
That's okay.
I don't know. What's the magazine right now? Don't just look at those feeds or those things.
Just probably. No, you don't look at magazines, babe. That's fine. I would say to you, Anissa, too, I know growing up, like my parents were pastors, I always felt like it was an awkward conversation to start with my parents. And so I was like, I never want to do it because I thought they would think it was awkward. So basically I was like drawing thought bubbles on my parents, like, oh, I can't talk about this with them. They're going to think it's taboo, kind of like what you're saying. But I would encourage you, at least try. So maybe your parents haven't taken the step to open up to you, but if you have questions, maybe you go to them and ask them. Because they might be like, whew, I didn't know how to start that conversation. Because you may think being an adult and being a parent is easy. It's not. Okay, like even with our 11-year-old, starting that conversation. So maybe you take the first step and just say, hey, I want to talk about it. It may be awkward and we don't have to like get into a lot of detail, but I just want to open the door to have that conversation. So I thought that was good.
That's why I married her. See how smart she is? That's so good. That's so good. Okay, what's the hardest part about living out a godly relationship?
I would definitely say what everyone else is doing. You know, you look at who you're around and like who you're with at school, and you see all these people doing things in their relationships, and the first thing that comes to mind is, well, if they're doing it, then it must be okay. And if they're having sex, then maybe when I get into a relationship, I can have sex. And they just make it seem like such an okay thing to do, when in your heart and in like God's mind, like that isn't the right thing to be doing. And it's really hard to like settle, and or it's really easy to settle and do what everyone else is doing, but that's what the devil wants you to do and not what God wants you to do. So that's what's hard.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, I can agree with Ansley in this. It's just comparing yourself, and I think a lot of times our generation, we have a problem with comparing ourselves. I know for me personally, I have an issue with comparing myself, with comparing myself, and I think in our relationships, just seeing that, because people always show the good. They always show their bright side. They never want to show like the problems that they're having or like the attachment that they got with the sex. They just talk about the sex itself and all that stuff. So I think keep having a godly relationship, that's like just an issue to compare yourself.
Girl, you're just going right off of Pastor's sermon this morning and everything this weekend about comparison. And it is true. Like, you can take comparison. It can either be negative because you're looking at them and you're looking at their highlight reel, right?
Yeah.
And thinking like, oh, this is so many good portions of their life. But we know from Pastor's sermon this morning that he talks about, like, well, we can use that to become better. We just want to make sure that we're not using that to like try to be like them when that's not what we were intended to do. For sure.
That's good. I'm looking at these comments. So when will the main message be up? It will be up in 1 hour. 1 hour will be up. And then Nug Nug.
Nug Nug.
I think that's right.
Yes.
Hey, how do you give non-Christian explanations for waiting as well if they're not there in their relationship with God? How do you talk about it when you didn't wait or when you didn't, as a parent? All right, so what's the question?
Well, let's go with how do you give non-Christians explanations for waiting?
For waiting. Right. You know, that's a great question. That's a really, really good question. And it's not a thing where we're like, oh my gosh, sex is bad, or we're talking about the confines of marriage.
Right.
Because when you begin to get intimate with someone before marriage, I mean, you know, the thing that everyone says is like, well, however far you step and then you end the relationship and you start a next one, that's where you start that relationship, right? And so you've got to be really careful. It's just something where you want to follow the Holy Spirit, the conviction. You want to be able to be smart and understand, okay, if I'm 13, 14, 15, if I'm not married, I'm just now trying out this dating thing, right? And then I'm already giving myself intimately. By the time I'm 22, 23, 24, who knows how many times I've already done that. Now, what's happening is you're creating this vicious cycle of what you think is okay and what you think is not okay. So when you get married, you have this wrong expectation that this is what it's supposed to be like, when what you did when you were 13, that's what you were supposed to experience at 23.
And married,
we're always trying to grow up so fast, thinking, well, who cares? You know, it is what it is. Everyone's doing it. Someone was asking about, you know, the hardest part of living out a godly relationship is sticking to it when you're influenced by culture and social media. And I even think Meek said it. It's glorified.
Yeah, it is.
Right? It's glorified, so why not?
Right.
Why not do it? And I think the best why is because God has something more for you.
Yeah.
And he wants you to live this life that is of a higher standard than what culture has set before you. Right. And the fact of the matter is that we're like, well, what is that? Well, you're never going to know that until you do it.
Right.
And there's only so many people who are actually living that out to be able to be a testament to it. Right? That can actually say, this is what it's like. This is how it's helpful for me. You got anything else?
I think just going back to Nug Nug, and what he said, just a confidence. You know, if you approach it, if somebody's asking you, like, well, why do you wait? You know, this is 2018. You know, why are you waiting? I would say just be confident in your choice. Like, you don't always have to have this big, drawn-out conversation or this explanation as to why. Like, this is a choice that I've chosen for me. and I'm going to stand on it and be confident in what you've chosen to wait.
That's great. One of the questions we have is, who do you turn to when you have a problem in a relationship?
When I have problems in a relationship, I turn to Anna Desi. She's my best friend, so it sounds really cheesy. And my e-group. My e-group is the best support system ever, and it's truly changed my life because it's just a time to be really vulnerable and be honest and have these awkward conversations, and it just really keeps you up to check with your relationship with God and each other.
Right.
Why do you think it's easy, or how can you be so vulnerable with your e-group? How does that happen?
It definitely takes time. You know, it takes you a little bit to get warmed up and be honest about your feelings. I also think that when you're struggling with something, you have to know that God doesn't want you to handle it on your own. He doesn't want you to figure it out. He wants you to have relationships, and that's why like we're here today is with each other, is because he wants us to have those relationships, because whenever you're having those struggles, you know, there's a reason that we have each other.
That's so true. I mean, having the right people around you is so huge. That can just help give you context or give you biblical foundation, or just maybe listen. They don't have to have all the answers, but you can listen, you can talk with each other. But you can you know when it's a negative influence or when it's a positive influence, right? When you feel that manipulation, you're like, okay, you're just wanting me, you want me to mess up with you so that you feel better about yourself, right? That's when you know, like, okay, hold up, right? So,
said facts.
I mean, that's the thing. Hey, eFam. We want to let you know, maybe you're not involved in an e-group. What that is a small group of teenagers that are your age. Make sure that you're, throughout this month, every Sunday, maybe you're meeting with each other and you're talking about this stuff. That is a great place to start, and just call it an e-group. Cool, done. There's no like paperwork you got to do.
Just invite your friends over, and like we were talking about earlier, a little watch party, and then take part in the videos that'll drop on Sundays, like you said, and be able to have that conversation together.
That's right. I mean, we're going to be doing this every single month. Our next one is coming up soon, but here's the deal. We want to make sure that you subscribe to this YouTube account, okay? Hit that little red button, click the bell for notifications. Anytime we drop an episode, anytime we go live, it will be there for you. Even if you're a parent, do it. You can know like what we are trying to help partner you with, and you can kind of help us. I know that we have a little parent playlist so that we can help you, let you know what we're going to be talking about, and then give you an atmosphere or an avenue to be able to ask questions and say, hey, this wasn't really helpful, or this was really, really good. But I'm excited to continue to talk about it for the next 4 weeks. We're going to be talking about shame. We're going to be talking about defining the line, right?
So good.
How far is too far? Oh my goodness, right? It's a question everyone is asking. And I think the Bible has something to say about it.
And I honestly, just real quick, if that's the question, I know that's the question, but I feel like a lot of times that's because the mindset is, I want to know how far I can go. I want to know how close to the line I can get. You know, it's like, okay, if that's our mindset, I want to get as close as possible. That's where we got to start. And I don't want to.
She's already getting into week 3 content right here. Look at this. This is good.
I don't even know about it. But
hey,
great.
We love that you have joined us here for Rhythm Night. We do this every single month. And we wanted to let you know about something that we are very excited to announce. No, we're not pregnant. Goodness gracious.
No, we're not announcing
but
that
we
on
have,
air.
Here's the deal. Youth X is right around the corner. This is our summer youth experience. 3 days for middle schoolers, 4 days for high schoolers, and we're opening it up to all of our youth eFam. I mean, thousands upon thousands of teenagers come together, and it's a youth experience like no other. I wish I would have had it when I was a kid. That's why I work here, because I was like, we're going to make this stuff happen. I love it. So if you haven't ever been to Youth X before, check out this video. You're going to love it. 2019 is where you want to be this year. So here's the deal. Tell your mama about it. Tell your daddy. Tell your friends. You're going to want to make sure that they come and save the date. But you ain't got to wait until next year, because we've got Rhythm Night next month, October 21st at 5 p.m. live on this YouTube channel. We will see you then. We believe in the youth. Peace out.